you thought it would be bad with just game 5s. It can get even worse.
All right, they're in it. They're in it. I saw production waiting to swap just in case they decide to fall off again. But no, we're in it. Both of them able to pick up a sword on spawn. Little bit of extra damage on top of Acno over Pavelski, but nothing massive yet.
So one thing that we saw last time, of course, and we've seen it this time from Pavelski, is a lot of neutral signatures on the Val sword. Acno didn't really do as many of them. We didn't really see him completely go into that, and we've already seen them gravity canceled on the right side, finished it up with a ground pound. So we'll see if Acno sort of does some of those things with the Val that Pavelski was doing. He's got to be having issues. He's got to be having issues, and this is exactly what I mentioned earlier is if you get past that sort of 10-second mark, give or take,
yeah, this one has to count.
You're SOL, man. Like, there's really not anything you can do. He's trying his best, but you're just, yeah, exactly what you said. You got to make do with what you got.
Well, he's definitely playing this. He's got some Gauntlet stuff on the right side. Almost had that Gimp potential, but even then, Pavelski absolutely insane in the off stage. Good dodge out there, reading that recovery attempt from Acno. But Acno's going to have to reverse 3-0 in order to get the momentum of game number 1. Dancing a little bit. Ooh, good dodge from Pavelski. He was expecting a little bit extra. That's why he went for the gravity cancel side sig, but Acno pulled off the gas on that one, but the side sig will take the stock off of Pavelski.
Now, it'll be curious to see if Acno has issues going further, whether Pavelski like takes the foot off the gas a little bit. Because, I mean, it's Acno. He's one of the best players, if not the best player, of course, Spring Championship notwithstanding. So take what you can get. If Acno's having any issues whatsoever, like, you can't let him fight back in this because there is a very real chance that he will. Take everything you can get.
Yeah, I mean, Acno is definitely fighting back into this one. After a rough start where he got his first 2 stocks taken, he's bringing this one back, almost goes for the read, but Pavelski instead doesn't dodge right, so Acno can't get that follow-up. Drops it down light side air, but he still gets the stock.
That D-Light side air drops a little bit of a yikes there. Let's chalk that up to some game 1 jitters.
Yeah. He's been sitting back a little bit. Of course, they've been sitting on the winner's side, so they had to watch as the losers bracket happened. And it looks like Acno gonna make the swap over to the Wu Shang. I respect it. The gauntlets were great. Didn't see that much out of his sword.
See if his spear is up to par here. Going back to the Demon Island. Nobody afraid of those side walls whatsoever here. Definitely a Val player should not be. Ooh, already starting off with a double D-Light, so definitely seems to be feeling much better this game.
Ooh, almost got the read there.
Yeah, he was going for the big moves after that side light. Oh, the weapon toss.
The spear was active.
And Pavelski is going to lose the off-screen fight.
He still got jumps. He did get the touch. Good dodge through. Pavelski goes for the turnaround. He Pavelski's the stock, and that means the first stock's going to go the way of Acno.
Was that a GC D-Light or was that a pivot D-Light that Acno did like right over the corner?
I think it was a pivot. I don't think he burned the dodge on that one.
That was super crisp. He just absolutely nailed that so beautifully.
Really well done from Acno. And this is that spear. It had a great start for him at the beginning of this game, and of course, he's sticking with it in this one on the second stock of Pavelski.
Side sig going to take that stock away. Pavelski not too far behind here. Weapon starve game could be something that he definitely uses well, but a weapon spawn is going to come in quickly for Acno. Both of them trading gauntlet moves back and forth. Pavelski hits in the air, looking for another one. Both of them very close to one another, throwing out a lot of gauntlet attacks.
Good positioning from Acno, reading out that down sig coming out from Pavelski, and he was right on top of him to punish it. Still, stock count even. Pavelski gets the 3-piece follow-up dare as well. Going for it again, goes for a ground pound instead of the chase dodge nair this time.
Weapon toss goes a little bit high, but it doesn't matter. Acno's second stock is going to fall. Pavelski with a good lead here. Still in the orange. Down sig is going to hit raw and hits the neutral air after that as well. That's some good damage on this new, fresh white stock from Akno. Pavelski still in the orange. That recovery actually turned him red and picked up high enough to send off the top. You got to know Akno's loving around 150 damage KO, especially on this map when you take him out vertically.
Yeah, on Demon Island, that high ceiling, the fact that that spear recovery worked out, definitely looking nice for Akno. Stock count completely evened up here in game number 2. Punish goes for just the chase dodge, no nair. Looking like he's in training mode, trying to just practice that jump chase dodge buffer.
Continuing to wait off after those sidelights. Doesn't go for the second sidelight this time. He actually went for the jump nair as the option. GC neutral signature. Since Akno high, he's going to have enough to get back. But again, the neutral signature going to punish the landing. Being careful how he chooses to go back to the wall. Nothing from Pavelski yet. Akno in the air. You see him landing back just a little bit. What is Pavelski waiting for? You saw the side air come out. Was he waiting for another neutral signature? Side air sending Akno flying. Goes over for the edge guard. Hits the dare. You already saw another neutral signature queued up. That is going to be a game for Pavelski. He's now up 2-0.
Pavelski looking good with the Val, and I know a lot of people in probably Twitch chat are like, oh, he's just abusing Val Ensig. I gotta point out the fact that Pavelski very intelligently is making sure he is facing towards the stage when he's doing these N6. Off stage, even on stage, because that way it's launching the opponent further away. He's trying to just maintain that stage control with these anti-airs. And now Akno gonna reach deep in the pocket and make the swap over to the Sentinel.
Akno and Simple are talking in German in the in-game chat, and I can't hear it, but not in like a super overdone meme accent. I don't know if they're being serious or not, but I'm not going to do it because this is an EU stream and I don't want to offend an entire country of people.
It's okay. It's the thought that counts. Ooh, okay.
Oh!
Akno with some solid edge guarding. Going to deny all weaponry from Pavelski. Wants the hammer.
So the swap over onto the Sentinel. Interesting. He's at least level 25. Didn't happen to see the level before we actually got into the game. But Pavelski is struggling. Of course, he's going to have that hammer that we've seen Akno play really well with on the Bodvar. Even just earlier today saw that Bodvar.
It's definitely an interesting decision. I know some people out there think that the Qatars have the better matchup against the Gauntlet, so that might be one of the reasons why he opted for the Sentinel over something like that Bodvar that you mentioned. Also, of course, Sentinel SIGs, I think, are some of the most slept-on SIGs in the game.
Definitely agreed on that one. He has a very solid kit, which is one of the reasons you saw that down signature come out several times already from Akno. Now, we've seen in the past players like Wrenched. I can't remember any recent Sentinel players, or at least the name that comes to mind, that was using the hammer signatures. Yeah, Aerial as well. Using like specifically the hammer side signature really well to command so much space.
Ooh, but a nice side sig from the Qatars from Akno will even up this stock count. Gonna juggle for a little bit, but it looks like he wants this hammer. Sarah into the end light, doesn't chase for extra. A little bit of a reset in the neutral, but a nice stomp into the dare from Akno. He is maintaining this vertical.
Ooh, gets away from that nice little weapon toss. Gonna force the underside. Nice. Neutral air timed very well. Keeping himself safe there. Gets the recovery! I can't believe that had enough force on it to KO off the top. What a pickup from Akno.
And he was ready for it. You saw the way he faded back just a little bit, was like, you're going to miss this, and I am going to hard punish this with my own recovery. A nice recovery from Pavelski will even up this stock count, but this is the winner's bracket match. This is Akno's last stock in the winner's bracket. If he loses this, he's going down in the losers.
Again, more of those D-Sigs on the edge. Really loving that one. Almost as much as Pavelski's loving that neutral signature on the Val Sword. We haven't seen it in just a little bit, though. That was sort of the one that he's thrown out sort of this game. Definitely on this final stock. Recovery coming out. Caught high. Immediately wakes up out of that with a down air. Neutral Sig coming out as well. It does get punished. D-Light Dare. Ooh, doesn't have the angle for any follow-up immediately. Okay. Oh, it's back and forth.
But, oh, the neutral sig, it's not the best for knocking out because of the angle of launch. The recovery going to get a little bit more vertical. Akno misses the stomp. Pavelski a little bit healthier than Akno. He's throwing all these weapons. He's too scared to approach. Where's the weapon spawn?
Oh, the neutral sig! That's enough! That gets the KO. Pavelski is gonna take it. 3-0. That Sentinel swap was looking so good until right at the end there. That is so brutal to see.
Pavelski winning over Akno in 3-0 in the winners final is a huge message. I talked about it at the beginning of the set that they went to game 5 3 times in the spring championship not that long ago, and the fact that now in the winners final of the Parsec Invitational he's 3-0ing, that is huge momentum for Pavelski sitting in the grand final.
I'm gonna be happy if Simple wins this, but if Simple wins like the one tournament where I like don't even put him in my top 3, I'm gonna be so mad.
Well, it's gonna take
after months and months of predicting him to win. If he wins this one, I don't even put him in the top 3. I'm gonna be heated.
It's gonna take a lot for him to win this tournament. I'm gonna be real, because up next he is gonna be going up against Machete, and Machete's looking great today. Of course, upsetting the bracket to a fair degree, considering coming in 6th seed, currently guaranteed a top 4 finish. That's pretty nice for Machete. Unfortunately, this doesn't really affect future seeding, but it's still a good showing from him.
Now, he has had a couple hiccups in this, at least one hiccup. Now, Machete did go up against Simple earlier in the winners quarterfinals. That one went all the way to game 5, and then in the winners semifinals, even though Machete came out on top against Simple, he completely got shut down by Akno so hard. Lost that one 0-3, couldn't even take a game there, went down into the loser side of the bracket. So this is a rerun of what we saw earlier in the winners quarterfinals. Now he's going to start off with the Sidra right away here instead of starting off with the Olgrim for the first 2 games and then swapping to the Sidra.
Yeah, he does have that advantage of having already experienced this matchup and knowing what works against Simple. But on the other side, Simple has had a little time to think about what to do to counter this this Sidra from Machete. He's just getting caught.
We did see the Olgrim lose 2 games, and then the immediate swap to Sidra into a 3-game victory. This one's starting out a little bit rough for Machete as well, even though he already is coming out of the gate with the Sidra. Almost a full stock lead here. Going to get a nice 2-hit coming out from Simple. 3 hits unanswered, waiting for that neutral light. Another one. Easy. The little hop. I didn't even know that did that.
He bounced over the down light, so he's going to avoid a hard punish, and a nice ground pound from Machete will slow down this momentum that Simple has. Machete will have the option to pick up this cannon, which is definitely the weapon of choice.
I never noticed that it had that little hop on the end, or if I knew that there was an animation hop there, I didn't know that the actual hurt box hopped over it. That's super interesting.
Yeah, it's always cool when weapons have that. Like Axe Neutralite has that little hop as well as like Blaster's ground pound can do it.
It's real interesting until I try to hit something that I think should hit, and then it doesn't hit. And Simple doesn't seem to be worried by it, as he takes yet another stock, has a huge lead here.
That is the second time one of the players has made a far rotation to the outside and just eats a ground pound. It is just not working to make the rotate underneath this Mammoth Fortress.
See the D-Light Dare, Neutral Light, doesn't go for the GC because he knows the bounce isn't going to be very high due to how little damage. This time he goes for the double dare and a recovery. Another D-Light Dare, expecting the bounce, so he goes for the dare yet again. Nice. Switches over to Hammer. Ooh, that big side air and the weapon toss. That's going to end it. What a quick game.
Yeah, Simple looking good with the Hammer. Honestly, a lot of just like the turnaround side airs to punish Machete, just reaching a little too far with his gameplay, and Simple was able to take out game number 1. And now that's got to be rough for Machete, because like that was the character that helped him win in their previous match, and now he's making the swap over to the Sentinel.
Bro, what is with the Sentinel swaps today? This isn't normal.
Sentinel, a character who we have rarely seen in tournament prior to today, is now becoming people's anchor character, their last-ditch effort. It's definitely interesting.
Spawning into this one here. We are going to see Hammer v Hammer. First weapon coming out. Machete immediately goes for it, gets the hammer. Another spawn coming in. He's going to throw his weapon away, grab the Katars now. Simple still without a weapon. It's been over 10 seconds into this game. Yet another spawn comes out. That's 3 for Machete.
This is one thing I will say about Machete is he's crazy good at denying weapons. Like, he is really, really good. That has to be part of his gameplay, is just making sure he has weapon control.
He made this game about 20 seconds in at the full weapon advantage, and even when Simple ended up grabbing one, you saw Machete toss his weapon out, gets away from the D-Light D-Sig, but he tossed his weapon out and was still able to, oh no! He ended up being in the way of that ground pound. I think he could have faded away. I'm not sure if he had the time to do it.
He was stuck in the recovery frames of the ground pound. Like, he was trapped. But first stock goes the way of Simple. Playing out the sword. I feel like Simple is very confident in his sword play against his opponents, and he just has the hammer as the knockout tool.
There's the side light. Doesn't chase dodge after it or anything, looking for the immediate neutral light follow-up. Based on how far it's sent, the weapon toss comes out. Stomp side air from Machete, looking to even this one up. Goes high for that weapon toss. Even went down to get it. Gets the KO anyway. Nothing even had to hit.
Yeah, Machete was trying to set up that catch-22 of, like, if you hit me, you still get caught by the weapon toss. But Simple instead couldn't get the wall touch. But edgeguard opportunity misses the ground pound, and Machete's got the stage control.
Most of Simple's hammer edge guards today have been just like the basic, I feel like 2016, 2017 hammer edge guard of get below your opponent and then throw out a recovery on the corner. It's been really effective today so far too. Like, I don't want to talk about how simple it is. Like, it's not really effective for him today, or it's like a dumb thing to go for, because it's working really well.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of Simple's edge guards as a whole as well. Like, it's not like his sword is the flashiest edgeguard tool. Instead, it's just kind of like consistent side air damage and just stripping away opponent utility. Like this.
Is he going for it? Yep.
See?
Another Sair. Weapon toss goes up. He's going to have his pick of the field. And, of course, like you said earlier, it's going to be that sword. Has a good lead. Not as quite as big as the one he had previously. That D-Sig comes out. Not being used quite as much as Acna was using it. That Sair almost connected with Simple. That would have been a great equalizer. Yeah. D-Light D-Sig. This time he goes for the ground pound. Immediately dips under the stage to get away from it. Now gets away from Machete's. Oh no! Oh no!
Not like that.
That's so tough to watch.
Not like that. He touched nothing. And he falls, and Simple takes the game, currently up 2-0 over Machete, but this was a spot that he was in earlier, all right? Simple technically was up 2-0 in the winner's bracket before Machete made the reverse 3, and now he's over to Zol, a classic of Machete, for game number 3. This is the last opportunity for him.
I believe he is using the synthwave colors on this one.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Which is a very technologically forward color scheme, while sort of being a medieval knight on this one. So a little bit of a dichotomy here. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Tale of Two Cities type beat.
Yeah, just a blending of genres. But Machete with some solid edge guarding, kind of aware of those points that you made out earlier, right? Simple likes to go for a very vertical recovery, ground pound style of edge guard with the hammer. Machete just chopping it up.
Definitely think you wanted a dare on that one. It ended up being a ledge cancel D-Light while Simple was down on the main platform. Ooh, getting a little bit risky with that. You can't quite throw that one out like some of the Sidra signatures out here.
I don't know if he was going
careful with that.
I don't know if he was going for the charge though. That comes down right in front of him and Simple beat it out.
He could have been going for it because like the placement of it was a good spot.
Very real possibility, but either way, they're both in the red here in game number 3. Simple with a massive game advantage. Down air, doesn't get the second one off stage, so instead Machete gonna bounce, but a downlight recovery and Simple takes the first stock.
Oh, no, he's going to be stuck on the hammer here. See if he can get that away in time. No, the spawn in. Man, that cannon skin looks so good.
I mean, it's no grill from Brawl Dad Isaiah, but it's definitely still a solid one.
It's the opportunity. I think he could hit side lights here if he timed it.
Yeah,
based
but
on how high Simple is playing. It's almost like Simple was just like baiting him there. All it took was an easy side air. Gets the KO. Not too far behind in damage. Going to have his pick of the weapons. Opts for the cannon.
I feel like in that edge guard where Simple was on the corner, Machete was just sitting there like, give me a cannon, give me a neutral light. Otherwise, I'm just going to fish for a side air for the finisher.
Ooh, that landing gets punished immediately. Simple
Nice.
again with the side airs over on the corner. Is he going to go for another side air? Doesn't even need to think about it.
He is looking so clean with these sword side air edge guards. Like, he is just stripping away his opponent's options.
Even dips down a little bit for the down air. Going to punish that ground pound from Machete. Nice landing punish. Gets 3 hits there. Sort of what we were seeing earlier from Machete. A lot of unanswered damage here. Could be too little, too late.
Ooh, he's chasing for it. Simple not able to punish. Machete is getting away with a lot here. Increasing that damage per engagement stat. Doesn't hit the ground pound, though. Really needs this stock off of Simple soon.
Good punish on that. Unfortunately, bounced off the stage, took some of the momentum away, and it was the wrong side of the stage in order to find the KO. But the neutral light follow-up after. Machete not in a bad spot. If he can keep Simple weapon starved, that's one of his best ways to stay in this while he adds up that damage, throws the hammer or the cannon away. I keep wanting to call that a hammer the way he's smacking Simple around with it.
Both hit hard, but it's Machete on the axe now versus Simple's hammer. And Simple, again, he's like lost all momentum in this one. Like, Machete really coming alive on this final stock. He is a last stock Andy.
Nice side air, the weapon toss. Simple at the weapon disadvantage here. Machete gonna keep it safe with the little dare right on that corner. Oh, now he's gonna disarm himself. This is a tough spot for both players to be in. Gets the knockout almost.
Oh, no.
Weapon toss. Oh man! Down air, not quite.
Kind of nice for Machete. Will make sure he gets back up onto the stage. Still unarmed. Nice side air. He doesn't pick it up. Okay, he's got it. This could be anyone's stock here, and Machete needs it the most. The neutral light, not enough. One more hit. Oh, the weapon toss, Machete. The recovery.
Oh,
he's
no.
going to live.
Premature.
Another side. He's still got movement. Simple. He can't touch.
Oh, it was almost, he almost got it in time. Simple ends up just barely taking that game. That was so close to Machete's game. That would have been so rough for Simple. You mentioned the momentum being taken out of his sails. If he would have gone for the premature taunt and then lost that, we could have seen that be Machete's set, but Simple was just barely able to take it.
That was so close to being a massive clutch from Machete, but Simple just had enough, was able to put the pressure on the Machete on the edge guard, and Simple closes out game number 3, denying the double tap from Machete. And that means we've got our top 3, Pavelski, Acno, and Simple.
Now that Acno versus Simple lineup, you see it on the bracket right in front of you. That's not a grand finals. That's not a grand finals reset match. That is a loser's final match. So either Simple or Acno will be going home with the bronze medal. Both players are guaranteed top 3, but one of them will be going home with the bronze medal today. If you're looking at our predictions, I have Acno winning, and I don't have Simple in my top 3 at all. Duke, tell me about your predictions and
I'm
you're feeling
pretty solid.
at this point in the tournament.
I had Pavelski as my number 1, Acno as 2, and Simple as 3. So I'm feeling pretty good. But kind of to your point that you made earlier, is that this is Acno and Simple. This is a grand finals match that we have seen throughout 2020, and they're playing it here in the losers final. This is gonna be an intense set for sure. But if history goes to show anything, Acno has historically been the one to win over Simple.
And we're coming out with the classic Bodvar v. Bodvar match. Both players with the Collector's Edition skins, and we're going to Demon Island. Both players with dark colors, so you're going to have to keep a lookout when you're on those trees.
Yeah, got to make sure you put on those triangles so you can see where your opponents are. But a little sidelight from Acno. It's Acno with the edge control, but he plays the edge very differently from Simple. A lot less side airs, a lot more sitting on that corner.
D-Light side sig right out of the gate. Simple opening this one up strong. Almost reached up as far as he could with that bear paw. Couldn't quite make it. Tried to run away from that side air as well.
What?
Acno finding his way in. Not sure what that dare was.
I think he just didn't jump.
Must have got the miss input on that jump. It's tough to watch. You can D-Light side air gravity cancel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, why are we boys, I tweeted about this. I had a whole thread about it. Why are we D-Light daring in 2021?
Well, D-Light Dare is the option if you're stacked up. Because D-Light Side Air, it doesn't always hit when you're stacked up like that. But right now, the scoop up from Acno, that down air, will even up this stock count. And it is worth pointing out, at the very least, that Simple's using way more SIGs in this game than he did in all of the last set.
And I mentioned the thread. Actually, if you hit the D-Light, your side air will hit if your dare would hit.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to say in literally every single pixel, but 99 out of 100
most situations.
times, if you can hit the D-Light dare, you can hit the D-Light Sare. Unless there's something weird with gravity cancel. I will put that caveat in there. I could not test everything with gravity cancel.
Simple going for the chase. Did disarm himself after that whiffed weapon toss. For nice gravity cancel D-Light recovery. Acno still has that weapon advantage, so you see him swinging much harder than the fists of Simple. Punish. He's going to get the recovery for the knockout.
That did KO off the top, so a lot of damage was built up on that second stock. Simple here with just a little bit of a lead, but Acno has the hammer in his hand. It's not going to take much to find that KO. Simple playing in the middle of the stage. You see him moving over to the left side. Acno looking for the stomps to come out. Happens to catch the dare as Simple moves into it. Gets the KO off the top. Good read on Simple's movement coming out from Acno.
Surprising number of vertical knockouts here on Demon Island. Again, a very high ceiling map. Even though you've got things like the hammer scoop up, which can be really good for those vertical knockouts, still surprised to see that much damage being built up before those hit.
Just trading sword hits back and forth. Simple definitely on the better side of this. Waits for Acno to come over the corner instead of trying to time that D-Light to not get hit by anything that Acno has. There's the down air. Definitely still winnable for Acno. Has the chunking weapon with the hammer. Simple waits, gets the punish. D-Light recovery for the KO off the top.
Yo, imagine, can Simple do it?
I can imagine.
Ooh, but Acno gonna make the swap over to the Val for game number 2. Little bit of character, there's a word for it, but he's not sticking to any singular character. It's just
identity
it feels
crisis.
Like he's messing around. Yeah, identity crisis. He's just struggling to stick to any singular thing against his current opponents.
Well, he saw last game that the Bodvar lost reasonably confident. I wouldn't necessarily say that going the Bodvar again would give any other option. It's not like it was last hit red for both players. Simple pretty confidently won that last game. So swapping over to this, hoping maybe the gauntlets can get in on Simple and do some work. Hopefully if Simple's caught floating, maybe that sword neutral signature can do some work. Maybe he can get the neutral signature dunk over the edge. We've seen Acno try that a little bit as well.
Yeah, there's definitely some options that he'll have for sure. Goes for the sidelight, doesn't quite read out the dodge from Simple. D-Light into the neutral light off the off stage. That's really hard to do. Normally you'll see Gauntlet players go for a chase dodge there. Oh, but a nice double recovery, and Acno gonna get the first stock.
Yet another vertical KO right off the top of the Demon Island for both of these players. That one going the way of Acno. Now Simple coming in with the hammer. Not usually his choice for sort of the earlier stages of another player's stock. Usually opts for that sword. I expect if we see a weapon spawn coming in, he may swap to that sword, but it hasn't come in yet. Significant amount of time. Reaches down for that dare, but the dodge comes out from Acno. There is a spawn on the field, waiting, being careful, doesn't want to fight at the weapon disadvantage, doesn't want to disarm himself. The weapon spawn goes to Acno. He's going to continue to have these gauntlets in hand.
Big ground pound, but it eats into the stage. Neutral Sig will catch Simple, and the Val swap working very well for Acno.
That's the dunk I was talking about there. Now, he hit that when Simple was in red, so it wasn't a super early KO, but it was definitely a solid KO. When you have gauntlets in your hand, he doesn't have to worry about a read. He already got it with the neutral signature.
Nice
Went for another one as well.
It was a really good wake up from Simple to shut it down, though. Still hasn't gotten this stock off of Acno.
Oh,
Restock potential as the gauntlet's coming alive. Side Sig almost does it. Misses the down light, but it'll still live. The side air will finish off the first stock of Acno.
Has more than enough stocks to throw away, going for the big play there with the GC D-Light that ended up in his own fall. D-Light D-Sig gets dodged through after the neutral signature came out and whiffed from Acno. Side air, that's going to be it. We are now tied 1-1 in this set here in the losers finals of the Parsec Invitational.
Acno's gauntlets looking fantastic in game number 2. We'll see if Simple finds any sort of solution against it for game number 3. The hammer worked kind of at one point, but other than that, it was really just the Acno show.
Now, there was 246 damage done by Simple by the time that game was finished, and he was basically untouched on his second stock. So let's take just 30 damage, maybe 40 away from that. That's going to give us 206 damage. All of that went in to his first stock. So that is Acno using this higher defense that's on Val the best way that he can by taking as much damage before falling. There's the D-Light Dare, gets the falling dares, the follow-up. Simple with some good damage to start this game off. A lot of unanswered hits, running away from that side light, overspacing it, and punishing.
Yeah, Simple definitely doing better here, staying even against Acno. Going for these longer range pokes as gauntlets don't have the best range. But it's not going to work out for huge momentum swings if that's what Simple wants. Nice punish.
Ooh. That was a really risky play coming out, especially because Acno is orange. Simple wasn't expecting that one as well. Now, we saw, I think, 720 Polyshot was punishing some of those really well because Acno was burning his offstage dodge to get the gravity cancel to move back on stage. 720 Polyshot would back up and then punish, usually with a signature following up because he got the dodge.
Oh, he goes over the corner. The trickiness of the side signature. Simple couldn't be ready for every single sig of Acno. Stomp side air, still not enough. That high defensive Val like you were talking about at the beginning of the set.
Ooh, Nair into the dare, or the gravity cancel neutral light. Simple does find a punish off of that. He might be about 50 to 80 damage behind Acno at this point. Weapon spawn comes in. Acno grabs it right away. Simple's weapon starving has not been very solid so far.
Yeah, it's definitely not been a focal point. I think more important to Simple is making sure he's on a sword than it is denying a weapon. Oh, neutral sig's going to connect.
I can't believe that picked up.
I don't think Simple was expecting it either, but Acno with these weapon tosses just maintaining pressure, and a weapon toss again. Acno looking great here in game number 3, currently up 2 stocks to 1.
Simple fighting at the weapon disadvantage here. You see Acno pushing over all the way to the left side of the stage where Simple was. Picks up the weapon spot on the right side. Acno finding a lot of unanswered hits here. Even continues with the Nair. GC D-Light got a beautiful spot dodge there to then gravity cancel it into that down light. That's the burn dodge. Simple
Trying to punish the landing.
just straight up ran away from him when Acno had no dodge. You can throw out anything?
He was trying to punish the landing because obviously Acno burns a lot of air movement in all of that. He wants to punish the landing, keep him off stage, but Acno with the side sig gonna take game number 3, and Simple is running out of options here. Can he find a solution to Acno's Val?
He's thinking about it, has not locked in his character just yet.
Where's the Taros?
Could be an option he's considering, but he goes with the Bodvar. String stance coming out, takes out 1 of dexterity. He's not really going to feel that.
So I'm going to point out a thing, and I'll see if you notice it in this game number 4, is that Simple does a lot of things, or was doing a lot of things to try to punish movement of Acno. Like he was trying to down air or trying to down light in certain situations where Acno stops his movement just before he's in that hitbox. Like he did a down sig on the gauntlets to jump out of the way of a down air. He did that gravity cancel side sig at the end of that last one to avoid the down light from Simple. Like there's so many times where Acno is like on a path and then he changes his path right at the last second and Simple gets caught out trying to punish him.
I will definitely look for that this game.
But right now, it is game number 4. Acno 1 game away from earning the run back against Pavelski in the grand final. Simple has to win the next 2 to upset the top seed of the tournament and go into the grand finals.
Yeah, I don't know if Simple saw what happened against Pavelski and thought he might get the easiest silver medal, at least of his life here, but that's not going to happen. He's going to have to fight this one tooth and nail against Acno.
And he is already struggling again. Acno with these recoveries underneath Simple. Simple's burned a decent amount of movement there, and the downlight ground pound will be the first stock. Almost a perfect stock, just a little bit of yellow on Acno.
Weapon spawn comes in, the D-Sig. Acno just completely taking him around the stage, showing him the tree in the middle, showing him the pagoda thing, showing him the tree on the right side, the stairs, everything, every little detail. He wants to make sure all the hard work the artist put into this stage is definitely appreciated by Simple.
Just shoving his face into all of that hard work. Thank you for pointing out the stairs, though. I actually literally, as you said it, I went, what stairs? And then had to look at the map.
Nah, bro, you work there.
I'm not in the art department.
Eventually, when y'all go to the office,
nice side air.
You're going to have to look one of your employees in the eye. Not your employees.
Not my employees.
One of your coworkers who works so hard on those stairs. You have to look them in the eye and basically say, I ignored all of your hard work.
I didn't see that. I'm too busy getting my face beaten in when I'm playing on the map. Side airs from Simple, still behind, but he did even up the stock count deep red. Simple has to make sure he doesn't give Acno the read.
Good punish there. Only went for the 2-hit, though. The D-Light Dare didn't go for anything further, like a GC In-Light or a GC D-Sig or even the recovery.
But Acno still gets that second stock, and now this is Simple's tournament stock here. Don't lose it on a gimp like this. Don't lose it on a gimp like this. All right, he's back on the stage. He's back on the stage.
Yeah, Simple just doesn't look confident here whatsoever. Acno is just completely running all over him. Does get the recovery there. Hits the ground pound. Fighting his way back into this, not too far behind here. Now he's looking a little bit more confident.
Yeah, it is evening up this damage, but still, Simple is in such a scary spot. The neutral sig will pick up grounded. Simple taking more and more damage.
Bro, that sig picks up everywhere. I'm sure people in chat are mauling about Val's sword neutral signature right now, hoping that D-Sig was going to be what he needed. If you catch Acno with it now in the orange at the right spot, that could be the game for Simple. Don't know if he's going to be able to find it. Hasn't found too many of them. Neutral signature, not quite enough. One more is going to do it. Not sure if a D-Light recovery will KO from here. He's trying to move it high. It's why the gravity cancel came out. Another GC D-Light coming out. Disarms himself there. I don't know if an unarmed recovery will do it. Simple. Going to weapon starve Acno here. Acno floating over on the left side. What was the D-Light off stage? Acno wasn't anywhere near there. Acno gets back to the platform, picks up the weapon spawn, gets the KO, and sends Simple packing.
The seeds hold true. History will repeat itself as Acno defeats Simple one more time in the loser's final this time, and Acno will earn his battle against Pavelski in the grand finals.
Well, me not putting Simple in my top 3 was an incorrect choice, but hey, at least I didn't put Acno as all 3 places in my top 3 like Dobrain did. Hey. That is literally, it doesn't make any sense.
He's he's 100% guaranteed to be right on one of those now, all right? Akno is guaranteed
now
a top 3.
Now, saying that like now, like
right
yeah,
in one of those slots.
But the other 2, he will guaranteed get wrong.
Yeah, well,
guaranteed get wrong.
Sometimes it's more important to get one right than to get multiple wrong. But here we are. We're getting into the grand finals. We're going to see a repeat of Akno versus Pavelski. But the last time they fought, it was a 3-0 in favor of Pavelski. It started off with a Val mirror match, and they're already locked in, ready for a Val mirror match.
If I get all mine wrong and Dobrain gets one right, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be very unhappy, and I'm going to have to think about his smug face.
You will have patently been made a worse prediction than Dobrain, who put Akno in all 3 slots. You need to understand that.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
He played the odds. You're out here playing checkers, Dobrain playing chess, Pavelski and Akno playing Brawlhalla to the best of their abilities. Double Val likely will be on Demon Island. That seems to be the theme for this top 3 is Demon Island. Oh no, Miami.
Nope.
Okay.
It's the Dome. There you see that quote from Pavelski. Never goes into a tournament thinking he's going to win. I feel like that's not the right mindset. Like, you need to go in with the confidence of winning. Like, you need to manifest that. It's always the goal, he says, but let me tell the world champion how to think about Brawlhalla real quick.
I think Pavelski, of all people, is probably the most, I think that is a true statement. I could see some players being like, I got to give them something humble so they don't think I'm just full of myself. But I think Pavelski, of all people, very real possibility. Off stage, this is insanity.
Bro,
Pavelski
what's going on?
has not touched the wall. He can't touch. What's that?
Oh, I'm glad he didn't go into that offstage engagement thinking he was going to win, because that is definitely
that was
not
the
what
goal.
happened. A lot of they both just really wanted to stay down there for an extended period of time as things got more and more chaotic.
There were so many great decisions made from Pavelski. Just the one that he didn't make was the decision to touch the stage again. Goes for ground pound. Akno,
Bro,
not able to punish, and Akno's gonna fall.
What is going on?
I guess this is why you pick Miami Dome, is you want some insane offstage, because you can't make that rotate under.
They're both the dogs sitting in the room that's on fire saying this is fine, except they actually fully believe everything is fine as the room engulfs in flames and one of them dies, and then later on in the same room the other one just dies as well.
Everything is fine. There is no issues here in Ba Sing Se, but Deep Red Pavelski, he is behind here, so there is that possibility of changing the history books and not getting a 3-0 in favor of Pavelski. Not over yet, though.
Ooh, Neutral Sig was looking for the KO. Finds it! A lot of damage on that stock. He was able to build up pretty quickly. We're now less than 2 minutes into this game, about 1:50, just under that by the time that stock was taken from Pavelski by Akno's Sword Neutral signature.
Pavelski really wanting to play that edge guard, though. You see him going for some of these really risky options, like that GC Ensig while he's getting stringed by his opponent, but Akno is getting more and more hits. Nice recovery at the top, will even up the stock count, and again, Pavelski holds the weapon toss. I hope he knows he was literally higher than however much a charged weapon toss would have gone, but either way, trying to delay that weapon spawn from Akno.
That was an orange KO, by the way, with that recovery. KO in orange off the top. Gives Pavelski a little bit of room to work his way back into this. Finds a nice 3-4 hit string. Has Akno in the yellow. Going to take a little bit more damage before he's in the orange. Meanwhile, Pavelski is getting deeper into the orange. Akno's going to have that stage control. In the center of the stage, had the weapon control, but Pavelski actually fought his way back on. Grabbed a couple of hits. The recovery, not enough. One more of those will do it. Pavelski not afraid to play super high in the air. Might end up being his detriment here if he's not careful. A lot of movement options being burned by Pavelski. All he took was a sidelight and a weapon toss, though, from Akno.
He's burning a lot here on this offstage. Saw the exclamation points come out. He does touch onto the stage, so it will reset that wall slip timer. It's a nair, doesn't get a follow-up. Over to the sword, wants that D-Light recovery. Both of them have the potential of taking game number 1. Neutral Sig will disarm Akno. hope for Pavelski.
Is he going to go for
No
another one?
Ensig? I was expecting it, but it's a D-Light recovery. Akno close to the kill box. Misses the Nair. D-Light recovery again, and Pavelski takes game number 1.
470 damage to 500 damage. Extremely even between those two. And we're seeing the immediate swap from Akno after that one over onto the Wushang.
Is he just going to go through the same rotation, go from Val to Wushang, and then game 3 Sentinel? Didn't work that great last time, just got to be honest.
3, 2, 1. Now going over to the Demon Island. The dome pick wasn't working there.
Well, no one's dove off stage just yet, so definitely a very different game number 2. Both of them just shy of the mark. Weapon toss will actually deny the recovery, and Pavelski with a massive gimp to take the first stock.
Oh my gosh, that is so rough for Akno off of this character swap. Still taking more punishment, able to get over to the spear, excuse me. It's definitely not a sword, even though there is a blade on the edge of that. It almost looks like a sword, not quite as long, but using the pole does give you a little bit more range here, poking with those neutral lights coming out.
Yep, will have that range advantage over Pavelski with this spear in hand. Does not hit the pogo, though.
What is a spear but a sword persevering? Am I right?
Thank you. Thank you, Vision. Nice side air from Akno. Will even up the stock count. Didn't take too much damage to get to that point, and juggling the weapons will likely stick with the spear. That's what the game plan was when he played with this Wushang in the winners final.
Ooh, just barely gets the punish there. I didn't think he would have the time on it or even the range on that spear. His positioning was just that good. Got it in time. Still taking a lot of punishment on the second stock, though. Could be taken out very quickly, especially if Pavelski hits another one of those neutral signatures. He's looking for him.
He's throwing so many neutral signatures out. Just trying to catch Akno in the air. D-Light recovery. Another stock in favor of Pavelski. Pavelski looking real good to take this tournament.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about a possibility of a reset. Haven't really even needed to explain that mechanic just yet in this bracket, and honestly, we might not have to. This is looking so easy for Pavelski.
He's just looking so good with this Val. Akno has to burn through 2 stocks of Pavelski in order to stay comfortable here in this grand final set. Okay, nice punish. Pavelski gonna go wide and will still get the wall touch.
Again, goes for that signature right off the stage. That almost would have been such a juicy spike for Akno. Okay, that's a dodge completely burned.
Gets away with it, though. Gets back up onto the stage safely. Touching onto the ground will, in fact, knock down some of that dodge cooldown time. Down sig, though, will connect onto Akno.
Both players threw their weapons, but Akno's was a little bit low. Pavelski's was right on the mark, so he wasn't disarmed. Now Akno disarmed yet again after he picked up a spear. Weapon spawn comes in on the left side. Easy to grab it.
What?
Okay.
That was the softest punish in history.
Okay. Oh, man.
He put a pillow next to his head for a punish, but the recovery from Akno will take the stocks to even last stocks here in game number 2.
I don't know if Boomy is streaming this tournament, but I'm pretty sure Boomy had made some really big laughs after that one. A lot of funny noises coming out of Boomy's stream if he's streaming currently.
Sure, a reaction or two was happening, but Akno starting to come alive with the gauntlets, getting some hits, and everything screeching to a halt.
Yeah, definitely gonna be some clips of that moment going out on Twitter, and just like that, Pavelski takes another game.
And we'll see if history repeats itself. Will Akno play the Sentinel and let Pavelski get another 3-0 victory, or will he finally find the solution to this vow of Pavelski? It's the Sentinel. And again, last time he played this rotation, it was all in favor of Pavelski.
Demon Island completely banned. The Dome, Apocalypse, and Small Mammoth are up on the board, and we are going to Small Mammoth Fortress. Now, Acno is going into the Dexterity stance. My question is why? Not that it's necessarily a bad decision, I just don't know why you would make that decision.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like, I know 3 to 4, great for Hammer. I think 4 to 5 is actually for Katars. I think there's a Katar True combo you get by going into the 5.
Okay. Not used to seeing that stat choice decision ever being made, just because, I mean, one of the reasons is we don't see a lot of Sentinel. So not a lot of experience seeing that stat differential. Stomp side air. Starting this one off good.
Yeah, Acno with a really good start here in game number 3. Huge advantage in health, but it's Pavelski we're talking about. One of the most insane offstage players in the game.
Man, he knows how far he can keep Acno at range with the D-Sig. Charging that one up. Ooh, Acno has the timing to respond with a side signature. I was expecting a dodge to come out from Pavelski.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be able to get away from that one, but Acno still maintaining this stock advantage, this lead over Pavelski. Ooh, that picked up. That actually beat out a sideline, I think, from Acno.
Nice spot dodge there to get to the weapon toss. And he dips down, gets away from 2 D-Sigs, but there comes the neutral signature from Acno. Relatively easy punish based on how long Pavelski is locked into that sword down signature. So many active frames on that. Gave Acno so much room to play with.
Acno doesn't want to give up this stock just yet. Pavelski going to miss the ground pound. That weapon toss did eat a recovery. You saw the stars come out, but a recovery from Acno will take the next stock off of Pavelski, and Acno is finally looking real good against Pavelski.
Ooh, misses the D-Light gravity cancel, neutral heavy. Pavelski's going to be a little bit frustrated from that. Still trying to get this KO on this first stock from Acno. The recovery comes out from Pavelski, misses, takes 2 recoveries, almost a third from Acno. Weapon toss comes out. The punishment from Acno is coming out onto so many moves that Pavelski is throwing out, hoping to get the KO, hoping to put himself in a KO position.
Acno doing a really good job hitting these weapon tosses to follow up. Recovery.
Bro, he's still not dead.
Enough. There we go. Pavelski going to deny the 3 stock, but he is so far behind here in game number 3.
Stomp side air. Bounces off the soft platform. Ooh, dodges through that side air, gets a nice little 2-piece punish, but it doesn't matter. Out comes the side air for the KO. Acno fighting his way back in this, the Sentinel pick.
He gets 1 on the board, but did he stick with the Sentinel? I have no idea because they went straight into the map bans.
Now we are seeing him, yes, it is still that Sentinel. We're seeing him take the exact same path that he did previously, starting with the Val, that didn't work, moving on to the Wu Shang, and then moving on to the Sentinel, except it's diverting a little bit by the Sentinel taking a game. We're now going to go into game 4 to look at the potential of a reset for Acno coming from the loser's bracket.
Double dare from Pavelski. Weapon toss seemed like a solid threat, but both of them able to make back onto the stage. No weapon spawns for Acno just yet. There's a spawn and immediate neutral line. Pavelski really wanting to get this off stage onto Acno. Knows that he'll have an advantage there with the gauntlets. Falling there. Side air puts Acno off stage.
Oh, he's got to be done, right? Yep. Definitely after that laser-focused weapon toss. Gives Pavelski a lot of room.
That was so tricky. It was a downlight dash jump side air It actually caught Akno jumping out, and then he stayed with the pathing for the weapon toss to get that stock.
Now we're seeing some real momentum going Pavelski's way. He's basically completely lapped Akno at this point. A few more hits and Akno's going to be in the red. That recovery sending Pavelski off screen, but it picked up so high and it still didn't KO. Pavelski now in the red.
Neutral light. Down like ground pound. Pavelski, he has such a huge lead here. All he needs to do is get 2 more stocks, and he will be the Parsec Invitational champion. Nice neutral sig. 1 stock left for Pavelski to be crowned the champion.
Now we've seen Akno in some precarious places in the back, fight his way back. Man, I don't know if he could do it this time. Pavelski is just playing better than he is today.
Pavelski just playing on point, man. He has got everything going for him. Falling there, Dare just adding up more damage onto this final stock. Akno finally gets this first stock off of Pavelski. He's gonna need a big gimp here on this second stock. Otherwise, it's gonna be trouble.
Gets the weapon spawn in, hoping to juggle with some neutral airs. Does hit one, lands safely, doesn't get punished.
This is Dare, this is Dare.
Ooh, a lot of whiffs coming out. Neutral light. Maybe he's going to start something here from Pavelski. Chasing Akno all the way to the left side. Loves those side signatures right off the corner. Goes for the neutral signature. Gets punished by Akno. Nice 2 moves there. Attempting to reach out into the push-off column high on the right. Now has some room to go.
Dashing on both sides. Swap over to the Katars. But Pavelski is he's just outpacing Akno in the damage department. Like every time Akno gets a hit, Pavelski's getting 2 or 3. Wants a hammer. Oh, the scoop up!
Sticking with the hammer for that KO potential. Still doesn't have Pavelski in the red yet. Out comes the sword. D-Light down air into the recovery. Pavelski winning yet another tournament. He is your Parsec Invitational 2021 EU champion.
The optimum combo for the sword for the knockout. Downlight Dare into the recovery. I preach it so often for you sword players out there. And Pavelski showing it to finish off Akno, winning it out and proving that I'm also real good at predictions. Just saying. Hey, how'd your predictions go in comparison to Dobrain? That's what I want to know. Real quick.
Look, sometimes you take a risk, right?
You played the seeds. You literally just said the first, second, and third seed.
Yeah, but like sometimes you take a risk by also playing the seeds. That's the crazy thing, right? Is sometimes the path of least resistance is actually the bravest path to really take when you really think about it. Yeah, actually,
yeah, sure.
True.
Yeah, I really, that's something that I would love to dig into more. Do you have the time?
I mean, I don't think we really have the time right now because we have an elimination graphic to show. This is look, I would love to, but this is production.
Yeah,
saying,
no,
hey,
you're
we
right.
can't do that right now. We
Maybe
got
afterwards.
some other stuff to show. So let's get that up here and see. Duke, tell us who got eliminated and in what order.
Yeah, so there you see in the top 16 of EU got all invited, and one by one they all started to fall. Starting off with Kixay in the lower bracket, Frydazol, Hermison, Flamethrower, Viper, Wave God, Knees, and then Blue all got knocked out. I believe the Ninja 729 as well. Blaze got knocked out, 720 Polyshot, and then Hyson got knocked out. And then we had our top 4, Machete, Simple, and then it was just 2. And then Akno gets knocked out, and there you see Pavelski, the champion of the Parsec Invitational.
Now, in-game chat, Akno did type, enjoy it while it lasts, less than 3. So definitely a little bit of cheekiness coming out from Akno after he loses to Pavelski. He says it's going to be temporary.